Picture this. A family road trip. The GPS fails as usual. The kids fight over snacks at the back seat. The dad misses the exit again. And mom finally snaps. Whose idea was this? And silence follows until one child mumbles, I lost the map. And another adds, I hid the snacks. And dad sighs, I ignored the signs. And mom laughs and says, and I didn't pack my patience. Suddenly, blame turns into confession. The tension lifts, and they pull over for an ice cream, ready to start over. That's the heart of Daniel's prayer in today's first reading. Exiled in Babylon, he gathers his people and says, we have messed up, all of us. There is no finger pointing, just raw family-style honesty. And this Lent invites us to do the same. Ditch the blame game and clean up together. Daniel doesn't pray, they sinned. He says, we turned away from the Lord. In our families, brokenness is rarely one person's fault. Maybe the siblings fight, parents overreact, and everyone avoids apologizing. Think of a family meal where someone burns the pancakes, another spills the juice, and everyone blames the dog. Well, Daniel's prayer is like gathering around that sticky table and admitting we all contributed to this chaos, and let us fix it together. Daniel's prayer isn't about shame, it's about accountability. Lord, you are right, but we are covered in shame, he prays. Healthy guilt is like a smoke alarm, annoying. We had a firearm testing today, so we know how it was. But it saves us from bigger fires. My nephew once threw paint on the wall and blamed the cat, which was very outside. He was very small. But he finally admitted it. His dad didn't scold him. He said instead, come, let us clean it together. The wall stayed messy, but their trust grew. Daniel teaches us that mercy flows when we own our messes. Daniel's prayer gives us a 3-step guide that families can easily follow. First, name the failure. We didn't listen. That's Daniel's language. Maybe the screen time has replaced story time in families, or work has crowded out family moments. At dinner, share one I am sorry moment. Second, claim responsibility together. Shame is ours, Daniel prays. Instead of saying, but they started it, give up blame and simply admit we will do better next time. And lastly, cling to the covenant, cling to the Lord. Yours, Lord, is mercy. Trust that God repairs what we confess. And put this into action by doing a simple act of kindness together. Maybe baking cookies for a neighbor, or donating toys, or writing grandma a letter together. Daniel's exiles didn't earn freedom by being perfect. They were freed after owning their flaws. And Lent is our family's chance to trade pretense for grace. Daniel's prayer didn't fix Babylon overnight, but it began a journey home. And our families too are works in progress. Your family may be messy, but it is God's masterpiece. And this Lent, let's embrace the mess and watch God make it holy. And today, we also celebrate St. Patrick's Day, a man who knew what it meant to embrace life's mess and trust in God's mercy. Captured and enslaved as a teenager, Patrick could have lived in bitterness. Instead, he found God in his suffering, and when he escaped, he chose not to turn his back on those who once held him captive. He returned to Ireland. not as a slave, but as a missionary of mercy, bringing the gospel to the people. And Patrick's life echoes Daniel's prayer today, acknowledging brokenness, turning to God, and stepping forward in faith. Patrick called an entire nation to conversion. And as we walk through this Lent, let us follow their example, St. Patrick's and Daniel's, turning our own messes into moments of grace, trusting that God's mercy makes all things new.